A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a controversial move that has sparked outrage among civil rights advocates, President Donald Trump announced on Monday that the arrest of Mahmoud Khalil, a Palestinian activist and former Columbia University graduate student, marks the beginning of a broader crackdown on pro-Palestinian demonstrations at universities across the nation. Khalil was detained by federal immigration agents in New York and subsequently taken to an immigration facility in Louisiana. Trump, in a post on social media platform Truth Social, warned that Khalil's arrest would be the first of many, stating, "We know there are more students at Columbia and other universities across the country who have engaged in pro-terrorist, anti-Semitic, anti-American activity." This statement has raised alarms about the administration's use of immigration enforcement as a tool to suppress free speech and dissenting opinions regarding U.S. foreign policy in the Middle East. Khalil's detention has ignited a fierce backlash from civil rights organizations, who argue that the government's actions are an attempt to silence criticism of Israel and stifle political activism on campuses. The American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, condemned the arrest, asserting that it represents a dangerous precedent for targeting individuals based on their political beliefs. Khalil, who has not been charged with any crime, is currently facing deportation proceedings, but a federal judge in New York has temporarily halted his deportation while his legal team challenges the government's actions in court. A hearing is set for Wednesday, where Khalil's lawyers will argue for his release. This incident comes amid a broader context of heightened tensions surrounding the Israel-Palestine conflict, particularly following the recent escalation of violence in Gaza. The Trump administration's focus on campus activism has raised concerns among students and faculty alike, with many fearing that the crackdown will create a chilling effect on free speech and academic freedom. Khalil's arrest is not an isolated incident. Federal immigration authorities reportedly attempted to detain another international student at Columbia shortly after Khalil's arrest, indicating a potential pattern of targeting pro-Palestinian activists. Critics of the administration's approach argue that labeling activists as terrorist sympathizers undermines legitimate political discourse and activism. Student leaders at Columbia have decried the administration's actions as an open repression of student activism and political speech. They argue that the government's crackdown is an attempt to silence voices advocating for Palestinian rights and to intimidate students who engage in peaceful protest. The implications of this crackdown extend beyond individual cases. They reflect a broader national conversation about the limits of free speech, the role of government in regulating political expression, and the complexities of U.S. foreign policy in the Middle East. As the legal battle over Khalil's deportation unfolds, many are watching closely to see how the courts will navigate the intersection of immigration law, free speech rights, and political activism. The outcome could set a significant precedent for how the government interacts with student activists in the future. In the meantime, Khalil's case has galvanized support from various student organizations and civil rights groups, who are rallying to defend his right to express his views without fear of retribution. The administration's aggressive stance on immigration enforcement, particularly as it relates to political dissent, raises critical questions about the balance between national security and civil liberties in a democratic society. With the eyes of the nation on this unfolding situation, the debate over the administration's approach to immigration and free speech is likely to intensify, as advocates on both sides of the issue prepare for a contentious legal and political battle ahead. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.